This is Bruce Friedman of Adult Site Broker, and welcome to Adult Site Broker Talk, where every week we interview one of the movers and shakers of the adult industry and discuss what's going on in our business. Plus, we give you a tip on buying and selling websites. This week, we'll be talking to Leya Tanit of Pineapple Support. Adult Site Broker is proud to announce Adult Site Broker Cash, the first affiliate program for an adult website brokerage. With Adult Site Broker Cash, you'll have the chance to earn as much as 20% of our broker commission referring sellers and buyers to us at Adult Site Broker. Check our website at adultsitebroker.com for more details. First of all, today let's cover some of the news going on in our industry. The Free Speech Coalition has lifted the production hold put into place in March in response to the coronavirus pandemic and released a set of preliminary health and safety guidelines from the organization's COVID-19 task force. For more information, you can read the entire FSC guidelines on the FSC website. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has scheduled a date for oral arguments in the Backpage.com case, which are now set to occur remotely on August 11th. The hearing will be based in Pasadena, California, though prosecutors and attorneys for defendants Michael Lacey and Jim Larkin will appear electronically via video call. The arguments will be live streamed. Lacey and Larkin's attorneys allege the Department of Justice's seizure of assets from the former Backpage.com owners is unconstitutional. The Ninth Circuit's courthouses are currently closed to the public due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now let's feature our property of the week that's for sale at Adult Site Broker. We have an adult microblogging and social media site that has over 7.7 million unique visitors per month. The site is a mix of social media and microblogging with a very active user base, which is expanding rapidly every day. The platform offers every registered user a blog which they can use to post their own content and reblog content from other users. They can also interact with other users through comments and an instant messaging system. The website offers truly immense potential for growth and earnings for the right person or company. By adding subscription plans for an ad-free experience, a new owner would significantly raise the earnings and, combined with starting to sell ads directly, could more or less double the earnings in no time at all. The site is also very unique. There's nothing else like it. Also, it has not been advertised in any way, so there are tremendous opportunities for growth using ad campaigns. For the right company, this is an opportunity which has immense potential. This great site is available now for only $280,000. Now time for this week's interview. Today I am delighted to have as my guest on Adult Site Broker Talk, Leya Tanit. She is the founder and president of Pineapple Support. Good afternoon, Leya.
Good afternoon, Bruce. How are you doing, love?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Wonderful. All things considered, doing wonderful.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Pineapple Support here. Pineapple Support is a free support and therapy service for all persons working in the online adult industry, no matter their gender, ethnic origin, social status, age, or sexual preference. They provide 24/7 support, or I should say you do, for all industry performers. There's no discrimination, judgment, or stigma. I can say that. Pineapple Support provides free and subsidized therapy, ensuring that every member of the Pineapple family is cared for should they need it. They create a safe, caring environment in which every performer can be proud. You can tell I read your Who Is page, huh? Pineapple Support alleviates the isolation felt by many performers by supporting each other so that no one ever feel alone. They promote mindfulness and positivity, being proactive and caring for performers' mental health and to spread happiness. Pineapple Support Society is the brainchild of you, who you're a British performer who originally had the idea after attending the XBiz and Avian award shows in January of 2018. Now, around that time,
You and all of us were deeply affected by the news of the many lives lost to suicide during the previous few months. You decided it was time to take action, and it was time to make a change. Pineapple Support was born. Together with directors Lane Farron, Dr. Jenna Field, Kelly Marsh, Christina Carter, and your board of chairs, Pineapple Support is growing rapidly. If I could just make this teleprompter go a little faster. Pineapple Support Society is a registered nonprofit in the U.S. I just made it slower. And is a registered UK charity. You got to love that. Okay, why don't we get on to the questions here? Okay, so well, I may have already covered this, but I'll let you.
I'm going to say what we're going to talk about now.
No, I can't think of anything. But between you and I'm sure we'll figure something out. What is Pineapple Support beyond what I just discussed?
So Pineapple Support is it's a non-profit organization that provides free and subsidized mental health care to people who work in the adult industry. Now, the point behind this really is as you mentioned, is stigma free, because there have been a lot of performers who have reached out for therapy through their insurance or whatever, and the therapist treats them for their career choice rather than their mental health stresses. Bringing everything back to their job, and that doesn't happen to Joe Ordinary.
Exactly.
And then also there's the point that a lot of performers can't get insurance. And if they can't, it is extremely expensive. And this is a job that, you can't guarantee. You may earn thousands one month, but then the next month you may only earn a couple of $100. Right. So but signing up to an insurance that's going to cost you upwards of $1,000 a month is it's a big ask. So we're ensuring that with this stressful job, with this job that has so much stigma attached to it, that you do have a safe place to go to, and safe place to turn when you do need that mental health support.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, mental health in itself has a stigma. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I think, research into mental health is young. People haven't been looking into it for a long time. No one really understands it. So of course people are unsure. I think in the past year or so, maybe longer, not just the past year or so, sorry. People are talking about it a lot more. It's become a hot topic.
Yes.
To try and break down.
A lot of that has to do with the fact that you guys started.
Thank you very much.
In adult, anyway. Well, it's true.
In adult, yeah. I mean, I saw a post recently, that were talking about stigma and mental health. A post from a producer in Europe on Twitter who said that he would not work with anyone with mental health issues, and anyone that was taking medication for depression or taking medication for anything or had any kind of history of mental health shouldn't be in the industry. People should tell him who they are, and he'll never hire them. And
maybe he shouldn't be. Maybe he shouldn't be in the industry. Maybe he shouldn't be in the industry.
Maybe he shouldn't be in the industry. What a horrific thing to say. And so you've got people who are, already stigmatized with what they do. Then they have some mental health stresses, and now they don't feel like they can talk to anyone about it, because even if they talk to their friends who are in the industry, they could have an argument and go and tell a producer, and they don't get hired again. It's just, the stigma around mental health is not helped by certain people. We are trying to break down those barriers as fast as we can, but it's hard.
I'm a very proud bipolar, so I completely get it. And who doesn't have some kind of mental health issue? My God. I think that person probably has issues he doesn't even know about, or he probably does know about them. So how did you get in the industry?
So I guess it was always on my kind of radar. From about 15, 16, I started going to fetish parties, and then working. I know. and then working after school and on Saturdays in a shop in my hometown that sold bondage and fetish equipment and clubwear and things like that. It was he actually ran the guy who had the shop used to run the fetish parties, so that's how we met. But they really looked after me. I didn't even know anything was going on other than fancy dress. Just that I'd met a really cool group of people. And it wasn't until I think I was almost 18 that he opened a little door and went, "Oh, by the way, this is also going on." Okay, wow.
Ooh, okay.
Managed to keep that quiet. And then I worked at some strip clubs, 18, 19. Then got into a relationship, got married. That was terribly boring. So put a stop to that. And then I started my own boutique, and I had a proper job and things, a proper boring job. And then the recession hit. So I jumped ship and decided if no one's going out, then they're staying home. And if they're staying home, they're going to want sex toys. So I opened an online boutique that sold very high-end, heavy-duty BDSM equipment. And on the side, just started doing professional dominatrix work. I used to run fetish parties, and then the professional dominatrix work started getting filmed, and I started getting asked to model. And then it just went from there, really.
Interesting.
All quite natural.
Very interesting. Yes, a progression. So when did you start thinking about this organization? Was it actually at those shows, or had you thought about it before?
It was just after those shows. I remember with XBiz LA when I learned about all the deaths that happened in the industry that year, and so many of them due to ill mental health. I was there having a great time, and then suddenly I found myself crying watching all the names come up on the screen, because this was the first time I'd experienced this.
Sure.
And that was that. And then you get caught up in XBiz and you get caught up in AVN. And it wasn't until I was on the flight on my way home from Vegas, and I was sat there on the seat thinking about what I'd experienced and what was going on. And I used to do a bit of stuff for charity here in Ibiza, kind of do functions to raise money for the orphanages or the animal shelters. Nice. I've done food banks and things for when certain individuals have been too ill to work. And kind of thought, why am I putting all this effort that I'm putting into this? I could be putting into helping a community that was very much there for me when, all through my life. Sure. So I started thinking about that and looking into charity and porn and how hard it was for porn companies to donate to charities because most people wouldn't take their money. Right. And kind of decided that maybe I should do something and how to do it. And spent a week at Jenna Field, who's one of our directors. She's also a therapist. Spent a week at her place, sat on her sofa with a load of notebooks in front of me. and came up with pineapple.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You mentioned Ibiza. So how long have you lived out there?
5 years yesterday. It was my Ibiza anniversary.
Congratulations. How do you like it?
I love it. Yeah. I don't go clubbing. I don't do any of the kind of busy, touristy, loud stuff. I live in a little quiet cala around. Yeah. There's pine trees. Nice walks, there's beautiful beaches, going out on the boat for the day. Not that I have a boat, but I try and chat up a friend with one.
Perfect.
Island life, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it sounds good. I think any of us who live in tourist destinations, I'm in Thailand by the beach, kind of the same thing. You're not necessarily going to be doing tourist stuff, except when tourists come in town.
Yeah. And then it's very expensive.
Indeed.
Having friends come to stay is very expensive.
Yes, indeed. So, do you offer the same support globally?
Yes and no. So,
no, it's got to be one of the two, Leah.
Well, we offer support on a global level, so
Okay.
anyone in the world can access the support that we offer. But we treat every country differently in how we are approaching them, because it's been a big learning curve. At the beginning, I just wanted to do one blanket, one size fits all idea for every culture, and of course that doesn't work.
Right.
It's really interesting, just that the difference between the US and the UK, between people in Spain,
Sure.
between Colombia. We have a full-time therapist in Colombia. The way all that works. So although we offer the same therapy globally, we do it. We're having to discover each culture and how each culture approaches therapy, which is really interesting.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's a learning process for sure.
Yeah, but I think we've got about almost 15 languages between our therapists at the moment.
Wow, that's awesome. That is
which is
awesome.
pretty cool. Some of them I've never heard of.
Okay. So what are you guys doing to help those who've been feeling the emotional effects of COVID-19? Because I think everyone is stressed right now looking at the four walls around them.
Absolutely. And it's the not knowing as well. We don't know. We don't know when it's going to end. We don't know how it's going to end.
If it's going to end.
God, don't say that.
Sorry.
But yeah, so it's an interesting one. But no, so we've had a lot of individuals coming forward for one-on-one therapy, which we're desperately trying to raise extra funds for at the moment, because we know that this isn't going to end soon, and even when the isolation and the pandemic ends, the lasting effects of isolation will continue for months. So we're working hard to provide more workshops. So we have a workshop coming up soon, but we're doing them every month, and we've now spoken to the therapists, and for the foreseeable, we're focusing more to have a link to being in isolation and lockdown. Right. That can always be changed at a later date. And we're also working to provide a lot more support groups. So we're now going to be running support groups every month, because it's a great way for people who may be, are feeling the effects of isolation to connect with other people, to talk to not just a one-on-one with a therapist, but to connect with other people about what's going on. And
it's a great idea.
To then be able to reach out to those people individually, to have, to have a support group.
Right.
So yeah, we're really trying to focus all of our attention on ways that we can provide as much care as possible to people who are being affected at the moment. And I'm currently writing a lot of blogs, which I'm not good at. Doing my best on ways to help alleviate the feelings of isolation, and lots of nice links to free online courses, like free art groups. I found a really cool website yesterday which was for cooking, but it's got a list of all the things you've probably got in your fridge, and you can tick what you have, and then it comes up with a recipe that you can make just with what you've got there. I thought it was genius.
Love it. So go ahead.
No, that was it.
You sure now? Okay. So now, what are the different options available for people seeking support through Pineapple?
So we have 5 main options.
Okay.
The first one is the one-on-one therapy. We have currently I think we have 118 therapists, and that's across Canada, the US, Colombia, UK, Europe, and Australia. As I said, they speak a multitude of languages, and you can, the way you apply for therapy that way is you visit pineapplesport.org, go to the therapy page. There's an application form to complete. It's really simple. We do need your personal details, obviously, because this is this is real mental health care, and then we can connect you with a therapist, usually within kind of 3 days. Occasionally it takes longer depending on if you're in a state, because in America you can't treat across state lines. So if we have, if all the therapists in your state are currently full, then we need to wait a couple of weeks usually. But generally it's very, very fast.
Right.
And the second resource, which we're going to really try and push during COVID isolation, is the 24/7 emotional support. Now that is manned by volunteer listeners. They've all been trained in active listening, and then there's an optional kind of 50 more courses. But the idea with that is it's all text based. You can go online anytime, see who's available to chat, and just have someone there that will listen. And it's completely anonymous, so you can talk about anything that's going on.
Okay.
And yeah, the idea is just to be there for each other, and it's great if anyone listening would like to be a volunteer listener, you can do so.
Very good.
Yeah, it's a really great service, and it's helped a lot of people. And I think that's going to be something that should be really well utilized during lockdown. So, having that someone there immediately is great.
That's awesome.
We also have the webinars, which I was discussing. We're doing those every month. They are advertised through our sponsors.
Right.
So, and also on experts.net.
I saw that.
Yeah. We have the support groups running, so you can access those on the website as well. See what we've got coming up. I'll be updating those this week, and also we have the Pineapple Summit, which is an annual mental health summit where pineapple support therapists talk on different mental health topics.
That's cool.
And and you can go on, it's pineapplesummit.org. You can look at the archive, and all the videos are there from previous summits. And this year we are purely focusing the summit on trauma, sexual trauma, stalking, abuse, and we're doing that in honor of Dr. Amy Harwick, who was a pineapple support therapist who was murdered by her ex-boyfriend.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awful. What an incredible, wonderful, kind, amazing person. And yeah, I'm absolutely heartbroken by it.
I can imagine.
We do what we can, and I feel like finding a way to help others in that position and provide information and resources is at least something that we can do.
Absolutely. So how can anyone listening to this, you've mentioned some ways, but how else can they get involved or help Pineapple support?
So volunteer, please.
Right.
And also individuals can donate through the website.
Okay.
As I said, at the moment, it's really important that we carry on being able to provide this level of care to persons in the industry, because this is going to be an extremely rough few months. If you have a company that is not already sponsoring Pineapple Support, then it should be.
Yes. So what are the levels of support? Of sponsorship.
The levels of sponsorship start from as low as $1,000 a year.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and you can even pay that monthly. So if you're a small company, you haven't got
is that $1,000? Is that $1,000 monthly? No, I'm kidding.
It can be.
I understand that.
Yeah, $1,000 a year, and you can pay that however works best for you. And they go up to kind of 5, 10, 25, 50, 75, up to 100,000 a year. So there's lots of different levels in there, but hopefully they're accessible to pretty much everyone.
Okay. And let's say somebody sponsors, besides that they're doing a good thing, what are other advantages they're going to have from a business standpoint?
Apart from that warm, fuzzy feeling.
Okay. Yes. All that.
So obviously you get access to the webinars, and you can promote those directly to the people working in your company, performers or execs or whatever, admins.
Yeah. Right.
We will put your name logo on the website. We will release a press release across all the main media mags. We'll have a blog on the website. Your logo will be on all the printed promotional materials.
Right.
And I'm trying to think what else. I'm sure there's many other things. Yeah, mostly it's you get some promotion. We get some backlinks, and you'll have your name out, and there's a little badge to put on the website. And I've heard from some performers that now they look for example, cam companies who sponsor us because they know that then the company that they're working with cares about the performers.
Exactly.
And once you're a sponsor, you can then put a link on the performer side of the website, so they can click directly through to Pineapple support. So that it's a really nice way to show the people working with you that you really do care about their well-being.
Okay, great. Now I notice your list of sponsors growing. I guess you might have already covered this. Why should somebody listening to this sponsor? But I'll ask it anyway. Tell me why somebody should sponsor.
I mean, performers are a stigmatized community. They have very unique stresses, and it can be very, very challenging and emotionally draining in this industry. Everyone needs support. Everyone needs to know that they have that safety net should they need it. And of course, we want this to be a happy, hardworking industry. We want people to be making as much money as they possibly can. At the end of the day, that's why anyone works. If you enjoy your job, fantastic. But at the end of the day, we all work because we need money. So if someone is in a good place mentally and they're feeling empowered and they're feeling confident in themselves, then not only are they going to make more money, but obviously the platforms they're working with are going to make more money as well. So it's a win-win for absolutely everyone involved.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, and I can't encourage everyone out there more to get involved in Pineapple. I think what you're doing is fabulous. I too was just completely shocked and taken aback by the suicides and the other things I've heard about performers struggling, and it just it breaks my heart, And I just think it's a fantastic thing that you're doing. I think I very much admire how you've grown it and where it is today versus where it was. And I just have to credit you for that, Leya.
Thank you very much, Bruce. I appreciate that. I'm very proud of what's been accomplished, and when I look at the testimonials that we receive from performers who have used our service. It's just it's absolutely wonderful.
Yes,
the guys and girls that we have on our board are incredible. I mean,
yes, it
just I'm so honored to have these people as part of my tiny little idea.
Your tiny ideas become a big idea, and that's awesome.
Yes,
that's all. You must feel a big sense of satisfaction. So,
yeah, absolutely, very much so.
Fabulous. Well, Leya, I'd really like to thank you very much for being on Adult Site Broker Talk today. I hope to get you back for a future show soon, and thanks again.
Fantastic. Thank you, darling. Take care.
Okay, you too.
My broker tip today is part 5 of what to do to make your site more valuable for when you decide to sell it later. When you decide to sell your website, make sure you have the following information available for potential buyers. Detailed information about your company, your website, and any other aspect of your operation that the potential buyers may want to find out about. This should include, for a pay site, a detailed inventory of your content, number of images, and number of videos. How much of it is exclusive and how much is non-exclusive. Financial information for at least the last 3 years if your company is that old. This should include sales reports, profit and loss statements, and billing reports. Get all of the information organized in a legible format that a good broker can use to sell your property. If you decide to sell it yourself, organize a list of potential buyers and start the process of contacting them. Be realistic about what your company is worth. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. In today's market, the kiss of death is overpricing your property. Is there anything that a potential buyer needs to know, such as, are you being sued? Do you have any substantial debts, etc.? Don't let these things be a surprise to the potential buyer. They'll either find out before the sale and not buy, or they'll find out after the sale and you'll have another lawsuit on your hands. Disclose everything. We'll talk more about this subject next week. And next week, we'll be talking to Philip, the CEO of Quantox Technology. And that's it for this week's Adult Site Broker Talk. I'd like to once again thank my guest, Leya Tanit of Pineapple Support. Talk to you again next week on Adult Site Broker Talk.